Hi guys, welcome to our channel, The Mechanics of Making Money. Today we delve into the world of offshore wealth and the Pandora Papers. Now, you might be wondering, what is offshore wealth? Well, it's essentially money stashed away in foreign countries, often in tax havens, by the world's rich and powerful. Remember though, you too can do this, but find your why. This practice, while legal, often raises eyebrows due to its potential for misuse. The Pandora Papers, a massive leak of financial documents, shed light on this shadowy world, revealing the sheer scale and complexity of offshore wealth. With names of high-profile individuals and their offshore holdings splashed across headlines, it has sparked a global conversation on wealth, power, and transparency. So let's dive into the deep, murky waters of offshore wealth, shall we? First, we need to understand what offshore wealth is. So let's dive right in. Offshore wealth represents money or assets held in a foreign country, usually in a tax haven. These places offer lower tax rates or other financial benefits that aren't readily available in the individual's home country. Now, it's essential to clarify that owning offshore wealth is not inherently illegal. Many multinational corporations and individuals use offshore accounts for legitimate purposes. For instance, they might be doing business in those foreign countries, or they might be diversifying their investments to mitigate risks. However, the shadier side of offshore wealth is what often grabs headlines. Many wealthy individuals and corporations use offshore accounts to evade taxes, launder money, or hide assets from authorities. This is where legality blurs into illegality. Offshore wealth's primary allure is tax efficiency. By shifting money offshore, individuals and corporations can exploit loopholes to lower their tax liabilities. For instance, they might use shell companies, which are legal entities with no active business or operations, to disguise ownership and transactions. On the flip side, offshore wealth has its drawbacks. The biggest one is the risk of legal repercussions. If authorities find out that offshore accounts are used for illegal purposes, the penalties can be severe. Moreover, offshore wealth often contributes to economic inequality by allowing the rich to accumulate wealth at the expense of public services. Finally, there's the ethical dimension. Even when offshore wealth is legal, it can contribute to a sense of unfairness in society. After all, why should the wealthy have access to tax avoidance strategies that aren't available to the average person? With that understanding of offshore wealth, we can now explore the Pandora Papers. The Pandora Papers, a massive leak of financial documents, has thrown a spotlight on the secretive world of offshore wealth. Imagine this, over 11.5 million documents, all bursting with juicy secrets of the world's wealthiest individuals and their offshore financial dealings. This, my friends, is the Pandora Papers. This staggering data leak, larger even than the infamous Panama Papers, hails from the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. It's a veritable treasure trove of the who's who in the world of hidden wealth. The scale of the Pandora Papers is truly mind-boggling. We're talking about records dating back to the 1970s, linking nearly 1,000 companies in offshore havens to over 300 high-level politicians and public officials. And the revelations? Well, they're nothing short of explosive. The Pandora Papers have exposed a global system, a network of tax havens and shadowy financial structures that allows the world's wealthiest to hide their assets. It's like a magic trick. But instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, they're pulling millions out of their taxable income. From Jordan's King Abdullah II and his $100 million property empire to Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babis's undeclared offshore investment company, the Pandora Papers have left no stone unturned. But it's not just politicians. The papers also reveal how Russian offshore wealth is equivalent to 60% of the country's GDP. That's a whole lot of hidden money. And it's not just about exposing individuals. The Pandora Papers have laid bare the systemic failings of our global financial setup. They show how this offshore network doesn't just exist, but thrives, facilitated by banks, law firms, and accountants, all turning a blind eye to the dubious dealings of their high-profile clients. The Pandora Papers have truly opened Pandora's box, shedding light on the hidden corners of global finance. Now the question is, what will we do with this knowledge? Will we continue to allow the rich to play by their own rules, or will we demand change? Only time will tell. Now that we've seen the scale of offshore wealth, the question is, how does one set up such an empire? Well, let's dive into that. Setting up an offshore empire isn't something you do on a whim. It involves careful planning and the help of intermediaries, like lawyers, accountants, and financial advisors who are well-versed in international law and finance. Firstly, you need to decide on a suitable jurisdiction. This could be a tax haven, like the Cayman Islands or Panama, known for their low tax or no tax regimes. Then, you set up an offshore company or trust in that jurisdiction. This entity will legally own your assets, even though you control them. But here's where the intermediaries come in. They help to set up and manage these entities. They navigate the complex legal and financial landscape, ensuring everything is above board. But remember, while it's perfectly legal to own an offshore company, misuse for tax evasion and money laundering is not. It's a bit like owning a sports car. It's legal to own and drive one, but if you break the speed limit or use it for illegal street races, you're breaking the law. So, the same goes for your offshore empire. You can have it, but how you use it matters. That's why it's crucial to have an experienced team of intermediaries who can guide you through the process and help you stay on the right side of the law. They'll help you understand the rules, regulations, and obligations of owning an offshore company. So, while it's possible to set up an offshore empire, it's important to tread carefully and stay within the law. Offshore wealth and the Pandora Papers have shown us the complex mechanisms of global finance. We've peeled back the layers of offshore wealth, understood the Pandora Papers, and even delved into setting up an offshore empire. It's clear that this global financial system calls for more transparency and accountability. It's not just about the wealthy stashing away their fortunes, it's about the impact on economies, on societies, and on you and me. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep asking questions. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you see our future videos pop up on your newsfeed. Stay safe out there, guys.